Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and Merry Christmas, because this video is going up on Christmas for a very specific reason. That reason is this video is my personal gift to EA, DICE, and Battlefield. But this is not a Christmas present they should be excited to receive. Quite the opposite. They should be embarrassed that this video can even potentially be compiled at all, because the contents of this video are nothing short of completely unacceptable, and I will detail to the best of my ability the utter refusal to take any meaningful action to help the Battlefield community that they claim to care about. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into the video. I want to preface this video by stating that this is a very serious video, full of very serious topics that don't get as much attention, or they're not taken as seriously as they should. And I genuinely hope that the people watching this will help spread this video and will help try to raise awareness for this sort of thing. Because if I'm being completely honest with you, if I didn't make a video about this, I don't know who would. And this sort of stuff, I'm sorry, I will not allow it to be swept under the rug. So let's start talking about it. I would strongly suggest that you perhaps watch more of this video than you normally would due to the serious nature of the things that I'm bringing up in it. And with that suggestion out of the way, let's go over the first situation. This situation has to do with a player by the name of BP McKee. BP McKee is a player that just happens to stream this game, every once in a while on his off time. He's a Battlefield player, just like you and I. And just like so many other people, he decided, well, I'm already playing the game, why don't I try to stream the game and form a community and have fun that way as well? And that is exactly what he did. At least up until he was essentially forced out of sheer frustration to quit his hobby because of the lack of action taken by EA to combat the very people that ruined his enjoyment for streaming the game. And I know some people are going to already be commenting, oh, well, just switch games, you don't have to play Battlefield. Well, I ask you this, why should he have to be forced off of the game he wants to play? Ask yourself that. I messaged BP McKee to have him outline exactly what happened to him, and this is what he said. Quote, "The harassers I've dealt with are the same individuals that are targeting AshBF. I will cover more on AshBF later in this video, but continuing with the quote. The harassment started around mid-January. It stemmed from my decision to not be friends with a certain person and my calling out of another certain individual for stream sniping and harassing me. Fast forward to April, and this certain individual attempted to create a, quote, hit piece on me, which escalated to legal action after he posted my address on Twitter. Shortly after, they discovered my personal information, and that's when the real fun for them started. They found my wife's Facebook and started taking out wedding photos and defacing them with pornography. They put a dick on my baby niece's face and then posted that to Twitter. My niece was 6 months old at the time. They also weaponized my dad's obituary that they found on Google. They even started stream sniping me in-game with accounts related to the illness that my dad had. Moreover, they started targeting my workplace. Luckily, I hold a position high enough that I was able to explain what was going on without any problems. BP McKee later states that he was trying to get this rectified by talking to one of the Battlefield community managers named Total FPS, and to be completely fair, Total FPS can only really, in my experience, forward information to the people that actually can take action, but the fact of the matter is, no action was taken for blatant in-game harassment, and ultimately BP McKee decided to actually stop streaming as a result of this being completely unenjoyable for him anymore. So let's summarize this entire thing that happened to BP McKee. BP McKee decided that at one point he didn't want to be friends with another person, and as a result, they stream sniped him to the point where he actually didn't even want to continue doing his hobby, and no actions were taken against the people that did this. Even though there was a bunch of in-game evidence that proves what they were doing was blatant harassment, which is in the game's terms of service and should absolutely warrant action being taken against them. And before I go on to the other topics I want to discuss in this video, I have a few very simple questions you can think about while you listen to the rest of the video. Do you want to be a part of a community where this sort of thing takes place and no action is taken against the people that actually do it? And for anyone that's a content creator, maybe you're a YouTuber or a streamer watching this video, do you want to bring your community to this game? Does it sound enticing for you? Does it sound safe for you to do? So just some things to think about, and we're going to jump over to the other situations that are completely ridiculous and have had minimal and pathetic action taken against them. And yes, I said situations plural. Now, the next situation is going to be an illustration of just how long this sort of stuff has been allowed to happen to the players and the content creators surrounding the Battlefield scene. This situation stems from none other than Battlefield 4 in 2016. And the affected person is Prolosco, who is an awesome guy, great helicopter pilot, EA Creator Network member, and one of the greatest EA Creator Network members, if I don't say so myself. He is a true Battlefield fan. He truly wants the game to be great, and this is what he sent me. Quote, so I basically started streaming in May of 2016 with Battlefield 4, and when I finally got a first world country internet, the channel immediately got traction since, you know, I've been competing for some years by then. I have no serious issues for the first 2 months, then everything started falling apart. There was a well-known cheat developer that apparently found a way to make any server crash, not by DDoSing, but by abusing an exploit in the server build. So who was in the possession of this cheat just needed to join the server and click one button to end every single person's gameplay. And to make matters even worse, I was already limited on what servers I could join because the server admins in Battlefield 4 kept banning me because they thought I was too good to actually play in the servers they hosted. So I was left with a slim number of servers to choose from, where ironically most of them were owned or managed by these people, or they were selling my information to them, because if I mistakenly joined one of these servers, I would get DDoSed on my own internet because the IP address is shown to the server when you join it, visible through a website called Procon. As you can probably imagine, this made playing Battlefield 4 completely impossible for me because they could end my ability to play the game at any given moment. And it didn't end there because they joined, started insulting me, blackmailing me by saying they would dox me, and said they had my personal information and stuff like that. Essentially, they were just constantly harassing me. I reported all of this to EA multiple times, even back when I was in a great relationship with them. I had nicknames and the nationalities of them so they could try to get a better context of who they are, but as you really know, EA took zero action and nothing happened. I can't begin to tell you how infuriating this situation was. I was genuinely enjoying streaming Battlefield 4, people also loved watching me play the game, and it was going super well for me, but all of this was completely out of my control, and I couldn't do anything about it, so I essentially quit for a few months and then came back and switched to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So again, we see a situation where a player of Battlefield and a content creator of Battlefield is rendered literally helpless even with direct connections to EA and is forced to choose between giving up his favorite hobby and basically continuing to deal with harassment. And like Prolosco very clearly stated, he delivered information to EA personally multiple times and not a single action was taken. Jumping ahead to another separate situation, this one I have covered on the channel before, but it is still ongoing as recently as 2 days prior to me recording this video. This situation is regarding a streamer by the name of Ash, or maybe you know him by AshBF, and some of the same people in the BP McKee stream sniping and harassing sort of circle do it to not only Ash, but another streamer called Neon PWA. I asked Neon to detail his situation to me, but he told me that Ash is the best person to talk to about this because the same people are doing it to him as well. So for those of you that don't know about Ash's situation already, Ash has been subjected to the most aggressive stream sniping and harassment I think I've ever seen anyone endure in any game ever. And I don't say that in an exaggeratory manner, and I don't say that lightly. Ash has been rendered incapable of playing, once again, his favorite game that he wants to play, not only for himself, but for his community, because of a band of players that consistently target and harass him every single time he decides to play the game. And of course, this escalated past the game and went into real life. Ash was doxxed. Ash has had his personal information posted in God knows where. And like I stated earlier, this has already happened as recently as 2 days ago. They're still doing it to him, even after Ash has approached EA to try to get these people rightfully banned. So as you can probably tell, the reoccurring theme in this video is EA claims to care about their community. They have a terms of service. They tell you to report things. They try to get in contact with people, and then literally zero action is taken. And if by some miracle of God action is taken, it is the type of action that doesn't do anything. They maybe do like, oh, a little account ban or a week ban or something like that. Now, jumping over to the final situation, and this time the situation includes myself. The things that I've had to deal with streaming Battlefield are really not seen in other games. For instance, let's go all the way back to Battlefield 5. In Battlefield 5, I was being stream sniped by a band of cheaters, and not just one cheater, 4 cheaters, every single day. As you can probably imagine, that rendered me incapable of playing Battlefield 5. And yes, I reported them. They did not get banned. Everybody knows Battlefield 5 had probably the worst cheating problem I have ever seen in a game. But to be perfectly honest with you, while that is also completely unacceptable, it pales in comparison to the disgusting acts that I've had to deal with in Battlefield 2042. About a year ago at this point, I managed to, for whatever reason, tick off 2 very strange individuals which have stream sniped me, doxed me, harassed me, contacted my ex-girlfriend, stalked my family, and I believe spam called my father at one point. And this is all through trading words in a video game. And for those people that might have this question, yes, they doxed me in the game. Yes, they're harassing me in the game. So you would think that I could go to a community manager and easily get this situation rectified. Well, you would be wrong, because I reached out to one of the community managers, and he essentially said, yep, we'll get on top of that. And when I asked them for an update, I have not received an update yet. And to be completely honest with you, I don't anticipate getting an update. But you want to know the most insane contrast of all? I was suspended. My in-game account was suspended a few months ago for 7 days because I critiqued the developer decisions of a particular developer. And keep in mind, this was not critiques of a developer in the game chat. They suspended me for a YouTube video. So I just want everyone to understand this very clearly. They suspended my account for 7 days via outside of game actions, and people that I have mentioned in this video that are constantly harassing, doxing, DDoSing, cheating, and whatever else get off scot-free. So with all of that being outlined, I just have a simple question to ask Battlefield. Battlefield, is this what you want your franchise to become? And I am absolutely certain I will not receive an answer to that question. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I never ask people to spread videos around, but if you would so kindly spread this video around any social media you may have access to, Reddit, Facebook, Discord, I would genuinely appreciate that. And thank you for watching, and Merry Christmas to each and every one of you.
I need a pickup!